Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will make an opening video for French defense for white player. I have started to learn a little bit opening theory by Kaufman's book White E4 by Anand. It's an outstanding book. I recommend it wholeheartedly. If you have time and resource to get to know this book, then it's I don't know, it's world champion like lines. I have a story actually when like about 5 years ago I was in Liepaja, Latvian city, with annual tournament which Kaufman attended for like 15 or 20 years in a row. So and I there started explaining him that, well, you know that there is this, you can be very popular on the internet with some, studies of the openings. And I didn't know that he's like outstanding author, maybe the best in the world so far. I mean, that was stupid, but yeah. And he has also knight f3 repertoire by Kramnik, one knight f3. I didn't take a look at it, but maybe I will at some point. And he wrote just one volume for black pieces and recommended actually against d4 to play c6 Caro-Kann. When I saw, and I saw him a lot, he was playing always d4, so he just wrote 14 volumes of analysis with his commentary, very thorough, like the thorough you can think of. It's like one move has 15 continuations. Ridiculous. And and still he plays d4, so amazing person, I must say. All right, so also I wanted to say that I will start with the sidelines, and when I was a bit younger, I didn't understand why people doing the sidelines. I thought that you should make a video on the main line and that's it for like 200 player, but now I'm doing it myself because I don't know how can you avoid it, because it happens time by time. I will not go for like hours and hours of analysis, which I don't know, and I will never know this. But I will show you just, some things I know, because I'm playing e4 and I play French defense as well with black on the internet, and these things happen, and just nice to know, I think. So let's go to the game, and let's make the first move e4, e6, d4, d5, and knight c3. So in this position I play for like 5 years knight to d2. It's a good move. I don't really had bad results with it, but I wanted to play something more mainline. Yeah, so knight c3. Somehow I think I'm feeling that it could be a bit stronger. Yeah, with all this interesting things going on in the center, with all the variations with queen g4, which is played by basically every player who plays e4 now, and being a grandmaster. So knight f6 is the Steinitz variation, which I probably will do as well. Maybe, I don't know. But this is another move, bishop to b4, which is the Winaver variation, very popular. Pinning the knight and threatening to take the pawn on e4. So e5, taking the space and taking important f6 square from the knight, which would really want to go here, and closing the center. So essentially white wants to play queen g4 and attack g7 and this bishop is on b4, so in many instances white will take this pawn, or black will play king f8, and it's not necessarily a bad move, just white will create some kind of attack on this square, and this position is very like risky, dangerous for both sides. And so the first move I want to show you is b6. So this is a very logical continuation. Black intends to exchange the light square bishop, which is like the French bishop, which is logical. So let's see what we have here. a3. So now we want to ask this bishop a question. What will he do? I tried bishop d2 here. I'm not sure that this is the best move. With a3 we force black to make a move with this dark square bishop. So they will play normally takes. So takes and bishop to a6. So I suggest here to take and play queen g4, king f6, and knight h3. At this point, this important is to play later knight to f4 and knight to h5, attacking the g7 pawn, and white castles. All right, another option for black here is to go bishop to f8, and we won a tempo. So I'm not sure that on our level a lot of players will play like this, but let's just make a couple of moves. Knight f3, knight d7, h4, taking the space on the king side, h6, h5, queen d7, and bishop to d3. So this is a kind of position we, I think, will appreciate. Yeah, you see that black is playing, black has only one piece developed, queen is developed somewhat, yeah, and white has very a lot of space and no weaknesses basically. All right, so this is like this pawn to b6. I think it's generally it's a good move, and it might give black, a good position. So after we played e5, the main move is c5, which I will not cover today, and I want to show you a trap which you might fall into if you play with white. So black plays knight to e7. Normally knight to e7 is followed by the c5 move, but now black plays knight e7. So it's important not to play queen to g4, because it's a trap and black is better. Because after c5, a3, black has very strong queen a5 move, and they are better in this position. Because this pawn is pinned, black will capture the rook, and somehow black grabs the initiative, yeah, and they also have, I think they won a couple of tempi with this queen a5, which they generally want to play in this opening. All right, so just notice that after knight to e7, you cannot play queen to g4, which I did with white some couple of times. All right, and let's see the last position, which I will show you, a3 and pawn takes. I see a lot of players playing like this. They just, I think they're finding some kind of attacking like sideline and they try to play on it as many times as possible, so it's like not the main line and no one will ever like study it normally. All right, so takes, white takes on b4, obviously, takes, and knight to f3. Kaufman thinks that it's an important move to play, and as black wasted a lot of tempi, white should be better. Queen c7, defending the c3 pawn, and queen d4. I think this is important move, and with this queen on d4, white dominates the position. So they threaten to take the pawn, and also if black plays something like knight to c7, knight to c6, it's white can play bishop to b5 and pin the knight. And also the idea for white is to play at some point b5 to restrict the knight from these two squares. Also, queen can go to g4. It's important that when we play knight to f3, we shut the door for this queen, but in this particular variation, queen can go to d4, and after queen to g4, create again an attack against the g7 pawn. All right, and one more thing, last but not least, just for you to know this important move order, because a3 and black has very logical move actually to go bishop to a5. They're not capturing this c3 knight, and just they're not giving up the bishop. And I didn't know this, but there is this line b4, very important move. Black is forced to take, and white plays knight b5. It looks like a French gambit for white, but with couple of extra tempi. And French gambit is extremely annoying, which I played against, and with very bad results. So knight b5, and white has a lot of threats. They have this annoying check on d6, and of course this main idea to go to g4. And if you look at the chart, it's like plus 0.8 for white, and they're pawn down, so it's very good position. All right, just let's quickly revise. So in this position we play a3. Black plays b6, and I consider this move to be quite strong. And we play a3, and either black goes back or they take, play bishop to a6, and after queen g4, king f8, knight h3. So we have this idea to go to h5, and black is couple of tempi down with this knight on a6. Another line which we should know, after knight e7, it's important to play a3 first, not to play queen g4, because after c5 black is better. They threaten to play queen a5, and they first actually playing in the offense. And okay, seen this very many times. Knight c3, bishop b4, e5, c5, and a3. Bishop a5. Black doesn't want to give up the strong bishop, and there is this move which which didn't go in my mind. Takes, and knight to b5 with a threat to go to d6, give with check, and queen g4. All right, thank you very much, and see you next time.